great turnout. This is awesome. So spring edition, spring sports kick off this weekend. Obviously, we're still full swing in basketball as well. We've got basketball home games Thursday, Saturday. Baseball's at home this week. Tennis starts this week. Softball starts this week. So we got a jam-packed weekend for you. So make sure you stay tuned to GoSouthMission.com for all that, to catch up with what we've got going on. But I'd like to introduce our MC for this, Mr. Jay Lindley. He's with Base 96. They do an incredible job for us. If you've ever watched our games on streaming, he and Bob take it to another level and give our student athletes, families, and fans a great experience. So they do a great job for us. So Mr. Jay Lindley.
So let's get into the spring edition to Calm Before the Storm. Unfortunately, Coach Nelson of Savage Storm Tennis couldn't be here with us today, so we're going to be entertained by his grad assistant, Rachel Rutledge, as well as other members of the Savage Storm men's and women's tennis team. So let's welcome them up, as well as senior men's tennis player Juan Gonzalez and women's tennis player Georgia Hoskins. I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit, being the grad assistant, having to speak for the head coach. Tell me, what's your expectations for this season? How confident are y'all coming into the year?
Well, we're going back into this season as a reigning conference champion. So we have high expectations this year, and we hope for the best.
Now, got some improvements. You know, there's one thing that's been going on around campus. We've been getting improvements in different facilities. The tennis courts resurfaced. How nice is it to have that upgrade?
This upgrade is so nice compared to our tennis courts that we had before. They weren't very playable, and now everybody is just super excited to have a new facility and have a lot of home matches. So we just hope for everyone's support.
So let's go ahead and talk first with you, George. You hail from Johannesburg, South Africa. How long have you been in the States now?
This is going to be my 5th year.
So 5th year?
Yeah, I'm 4 years in right now.
So you've been a part of those back-to-back championship teams. How special were those championships to you as an individual and getting to go to the NCAA tournament?
It's been a very wonderful experience. It's been fun with the team. We've always enjoyed it. So hopefully we can do it again.
Do you get to go home often, like in the summer, or have you been pretty much here the whole 5 years?
No, I go home every summer. Home is now England, so
Okay.
I haven't been back to South Africa for 5 years now.
So what part of England are you doing?
Like Bedford, south of London.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your major here at Southeast?
Health and Human Performance.
Okay. So what, for you individually, what's one of your individual goals this season?
Well, I'm coming off an injury, so just to play pain-free will be good.
That's always a good goal. Team goals, you want to obviously take another run at a championship, but how far do you guys think you can go this year?
I mean, I think we can go all the way. Hopefully we win another conference. That's obviously one of our biggest goals. And then to potentially make it further in regionals. Obviously every year we've lost first round. So hopefully make it further would be great.
So let's talk men's tennis with Juan Gonzalez. Juan, you hail from Argentina. How long have you been here in Durham?
This is my 2nd year in Durham, and it's my 5th year in the state.
So what do you like about Durham? What is it that has gotten you here playing tennis?
First of all, I have a couple of friends before, so I was talking with them before coming here, and they told me good stuff about Durham, the team, coaches and stuff, so it's something that I really like about.
You were all-conference selection last year. How much pride do you take in that honor?
It was amazing to receive that award. Actually, the whole team worked super hard, so I think it was like a team award basically. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm trying to do my best, always work hard.
So what are you majoring in here at Southeast?
My major is management.
So what do you plan on doing with that?
For the moment, I don't know. I will see. I'm looking forward for that, but now I'm focused on finish this semester. I have tough classes, tough grades, and last the season, so it's going to be challenging.
Same as I asked Georgia for you. What's your individual goal and what's your team goals for this season?
So for individual goal and team as well, we gonna get that ring for conference. Last year we made conference. We had a tough team. We lost close, but first of all, that's our main goal, conference, to get the ring. And we trying to get top 20 this year. We were so close to make nationals. We lost the last match, and it was really close. So our goals are conference and nationals.
So let's go ahead and go back to Coach Rutledge. On the women's side of things, preseason favorite, what type of target or pressure does that put on you guys?
I would say I don't think they feel very pressured. We're just going to go out and do our best, honestly.
So obviously in tennis, you guys travel a lot. I was looking at the schedule. The men actually open up this weekend here, but the women don't open up for another week, and that's in Dallas. How many home meets roughly do you guys have this season?
Like around 6 or 7 home matches, maybe. We have a lot.
Of course, you go southeastern.com and check the schedule for yourself. I don't need to put you on the spot there. For you as a graduate assistant, I mean, take us through your daily routine in working with Coach Nelson.
We just plan our practices, and then we just go out and we just have a good time.
So y'all's practices are a good time. That's a little bit different than what I get told about women's basketball team. They don't necessarily enjoy practices as much. For you, what are your goals for this season for the two teams?
I hope that we get both rings this year. We have high expectations, and they're very capable of pulling it off.
So again, I give another round of applause, please, for Rachel Rutledge, as well as Juan Gonzalez and Savage Storm women's and men's tennis teams. Of course, again opening up here February 3rd, and women on February 9th down in Dallas. Let's go ahead and roll over to Savage Storm Golf and welcome up Coach Cindy Youngblood Blanton, as well as Hannah Fish of the women's team, and also Trent Pollard of the men's team. So just got women's golf started off this fall. Talk a little bit about that experience and the program here at Southeastern.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun. Sorry for my profession, dealing with allergies. Yeah, I mean, it was really fun to get to recruit her, and there were some girls in the program. As far as how the fall went, I think there were a lot of expectations, and we'll be able to do something really cool, being the first women's program in history. And so the fall didn't start out super great. I think the expectations got to us a little bit. But we finished on a really good note. The last tournament of the year, last semester, we finished, I believe, second in the GAC. So I think we've got some good expectations going into this semester.
From your standpoint, being a young head coach and having the program, how did that add to your schedule and managing that schedule?
It definitely made me more focused on time management and how I prepare both teams, and how much time I, take between the both of them. And so making sure I'm doing what I need to do for the women as well as the men, and not slacking on everyone. So time management has really been a big factor for me.
So let's go ahead and talk to Ms. Fish, a freshman from Prosper, Texas. What high school did you go to? Because Prosper's got a ton of high schools.
I went to the original Prosper High School.
Okay, so went to Prosper High. Business major with a minor in hospitality. Obviously, you're a freshman, but any goals right now? What you're going to do when you graduate, or You've been here long enough that may have already changed.
Yeah, so I plan to work in the office, and then with the AC, and then when I golf outside, it'll balance.
I got you. So you were one of the 7 signees for the inaugural season this fall. Being the first, I mean, that's kind of unique as far as that goes. How was it that you came here to Southeastern to make that decision to start with a new program, and then how special is it to be the start of something new in place?
It was actually pretty unique. A girl who I played against in high school was the one who gave the opportunity to me to come to the school. She was like, hey, they're making a new women's golf team. It would be amazing if you could reach out to the coach and see what you could do. And so I took that opportunity. I reached out to Coach Youngblood, and now I'm here, and I'm extremely happy about it.
Of course, competed in multiple tournaments this past fall. What was your best finish?
I think one of the days I shot a 7-9. I've been like up and down, but I'm getting better. I just practicing and playing a lot. We're playing a lot this season, so I'm ready for that.
Take us through practice. I mean, because I get out and hack golf all over the place, but you guys are obviously trained for certain things. Like, just take us through like a day. Do you spend like 30 minutes on the putting green, 30 on the chipping? How do you break it down?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on what you want to work on. Not every day you're going to struggle on the same thing, and you're going to do really good on another thing. I usually spend around 45 minutes to an hour with going to the range, doing full swing, going to chipping, going to putting. But we do spend a long time doing all those things because we have to practice how we play, because it definitely makes a huge difference.
About how much time a week would you say that you put in as an individual?
Oh, a lot. I wouldn't be able to tell you how much because I lose track when I'm out there and I'm zoned in, but it's we go out, practice or play like every day, especially on the weekends.
What are your goals for this upcoming season, just in your game? It doesn't necessarily have to be any sort of success or finish, but anything that you want to improve this season?
Score. I would love to score better, but I also am trying to have fun with it. I know that stress gets to me a lot, and I want to work on calming myself down when I go out and play and go in competition with these girls who are extremely good at golf.
So let's go ahead and turn it over to Trent Pollard. Helper from Corinth, Texas. You go to Lake Dallas? Or?
Yes, sir. Go Falcons.
Yeah, before Falcons. I do a little Texas high school football. I've been at that facility before. So you transferred in from UT Tyler. What brought you here to Southeastern? What helped you make that decision to come?
So first 2 years, obviously, at Tyler, I wanted some more playing time. Needed to be a bigger fish in a smaller pond. So I reached out, went into the transfer portal, reached out to Coach Youngblood. Very interested in the program here because it's only an hour and a half away from my house in Corinth, Texas. And so yeah, that's really kind of what got me here. She was gracious enough to answer my email. So yeah, I'm here.
So you get on campus, understand that you're heavily involved in the student athlete advisory committee. What drew you that? To be involved on campus, that's always a big deal. Some people just come to class and play sports and don't really get involved. Why was it a big deal for you to get involved?
Getting to make connections with athletes from all across the country, all across the world is nothing better than that. I mean, come on, it's so cool. One of my old roommates actually was from Italy, and he's the main reason I listen to like Italian rap now. Never would have thought of that in a million years. I thought I'd just strictly be country, but here we are, listening to Italian rap. But yes, Gracie from softball, so gracious enough to welcome me into Savage with open arms. It's been a blast.
So for you, what's been your best finish so far in the tournament?
Best finish so far was, I believe it was a tie for 18th at Lake Hefner, GAC previews. That was sometime mid-September. Yeah.
So what are you working on this season? I mean, now the season's here, but what have you been working on to improve
you know, golfers are always going to work on the physical stuff, you know, full swing, technique, form. For me, it's mental right now. I'm very hard on myself, which I think to a certain degree that can be great, you know. But there's such thing as wanting to be great and wanting to be perfect, and being too perfect. We can't ask that for ourselves, right? We're humans. So just try not to be so hard on myself. Like, hey, we're all gonna make mistakes. You know, it's just, you gotta sometimes roll with it and thug it out.
Ask you the same question that I asked Hannah. You guys have to do a lot of individual work. Round about how much time a week do you spend on golf?
North of 40 hours at least. And that's not including, you know, how many Tiger Woods highlight clips I watch on YouTube every night, right? But yeah.
So, majoring in marketing, what do you plan on doing with that?
You know, the dream job, I think working for a marketing, like working for a, oh my gosh, sorry, I can't talk. We're marketing for like a sports league, I think would be so cool. We just got rugby in Dallas, like a professional rugby team. I think that'd be just, you know, kind of the smaller, more niche sports, I think would be something really cool to like look into. But outside of that, my dad is a mortgage lender for NFL lending, so I'm kind of looking into that as well, kind of life after college. It's a little crazy to think about being an adult, but it's cool.
So what are your individual goals this season?
I want to definitely have a top 10 finish, at least in the next 4 or 5 events that we play. But really just working on, hey, you know, it's 72 holes of golf, including the practice round. Like you got to be able to shut it off and shut it on when you need to. You got to be able to lock in.
So turn it over to you, Coach. Women's begins actually in a month, March 2nd through the 5th up in Edmond. About how many tournaments do the women have? And again, on the scheduling, how does that work with you coaching 2 teams now?
Yeah, so both teams have 4 events, not including GAC. And so the way that we kind of manage that is, you know, gracious to the admin, Alex back there. Anytime we have any overlap with men's or women's, I am thankful to have her to be able to take the boys or vice versa, and we kind of just swap off.
What are your expectations for the 2 groups?
Obviously my expectations are high. I feel like our practice plans are solid. It's just going to come down to execution and being able to do it when we need it. So.
Anybody else here in the crowd you want to recognize before we move to softball?
Yeah, Caleb Hyde, I don't know, I think he probably know for football. But he is our trainer, and he stuck around and was able to coach everybody from the 4 years that we've had him, so appreciate him.
I was going to ask about that too, because from the workout facility, obviously, we've got a new place here in the last couple of years. To what advantage, to what extent do you guys utilize the weights and that kind of stuff?
Scheduling, we're in here 3 days a week for an hour, and then I know a lot of our golfers will come in on the day that we don't have workouts, and they'll have a workout, and you know, just be able to enjoy this area and stretch or do what they have to do.
So again, I give it up for Cindy Youngblood, as well as Hannah Fitch, and also Trent Pollard, representation of this year's Savage Storm Golf. Good luck this season. Now let's roll over to Savage Storm softball and welcome up head coach Mackenzie Shearer, as well as Grace Ford, Reese Taylor, and Evelyn Walsworth. Big season last year. Congratulations. I never really got to say I think I did in passing once or twice, but for those who don't know, you guys go out, win the conference tournament. How special was that for the group, and especially for you being so new here as far as that goes?
Yeah, you know, I think it was really exciting. Obviously, anytime you win, it's nice. We're slowly trying to chase women's tennis over there, going back to back, so hopefully we can do that. But you know, at the beginning of the season, there's a lot of changes, a lot of new things. We talked about that in our Common Core Storm last year. I think we kind of had a moment in season where we had to figure out how to work together, and I think after that we kind of flipped a switch. And so I said in the beginning, you know, if you put that team in a corner, I'm choosing them every single time, just with the amount of grit and what we're going to carry over this year. So it was a fun experience.
I mentioned with tennis some improvements. You guys have improved your facilities some as well. So what are some of the improvements that you guys have done?
Yeah, we got our big facility events. If you've been able to drive by, you'll see that. It's been very fortunate to have that out there. We also worked on our dugouts this season in the fall. We expanded those out some, so we have a little bit more room in there. A little more softball cheer action going on. We have things that are smaller, but make it look a lot different. So the windscreen, got the cappers on. Just continued support from the admin team and from President Newsom on those expansions.
With winning the championship as you did last year, did that open some eyes on the recruiting trail when you're going out trying to get players? Was that a bonus for you guys last year?
It's always a bonus to pull out a ring on recruiting visit, but I think for us, we want to use it as look what we did and imagine what we can do. And so kind of the vision of moving ahead and where we should be. I think regional last year we went to a barbecue, so I'm thinking that that's kind of a point where, okay, now we know what we're looking for, now we're going to go in there and use it as a motivation point. And so trying to find people and those that are going to be brought into that freshman class this year, the transfers that are here this year, it's an amazing group. So I'm really excited to just go. We're ready to play. We're ready to
So you're tired of practice?
I think everybody's tired of playing each other. I think we're ready to go. I'm ready to show it off.
So let's go ahead. We got 3 seniors up there with us. Let's begin with Grace Orr, who understand your dad played baseball here at Southeastern. When you were a kid, did he ever bring you back? I mean, was there any visiting, or when you arrived here from Store, was that the first time you've been here?
He brought me back every chance that he could, and every time I walked in, he was like, "You did yours, kid." Yes, I am. Sadly, yes. But he did have a lot of influence on me coming here. I think I told him when I was 9, I did not want to come here. I did not want to be known as this kid. And for those that know my dad, you would know why. But I'm happy that I did come here, and I'm grateful every day.
Of course, played in 49 games a year ago. Talk about the excitement of last season and carrying that momentum into the new year.
It went by really fast, so there's really not much I can say. I really just tried to clear my head last year and just try to have fun as much as I could. And then when we finally got to the conference tournament, it went by so fast. I remember going up to my assistant coach after the game, and I was like, "What just happened?" And I was like, I don't remember a single thing from the conference tournament. It went by so fast, and I just had so much fun.
Do you guys as a group feel some added pressure, I guess, or at least a little bit more of a target after winning that last year?
Yes and no. I definitely feel like we have got people this year. There's a lot of people who don't expect us to do it again, and I think that we can. That's really all I can say about that.
We're senior year. What's your major? What do you plan on doing?
This is my 5th year. I'm getting my master's in sports administration. So I plan on, after that, either running social media for a sports team or going the total opposite direction than wedding planning. So.
That is pretty opposite direction. Let's go ahead and move over to Reese Taylor from Wood, Texas. All conference selection. So you get that added honor on top of winning a championship. How special was last year for you?
Last year was something that I can't really describe, because coming here to a new place and starting a journey with people you don't know and coming in, and it was just so special, and I am thankful that I was led here, but I'm just excited for this year and to see what happens next.
Kind of take us through, Coach, allude to the fact of practice. When do you guys get to actually start practicing, because the season starts up so early? So when are you guys starting to work, guys? In December, late November?
We actually start in August when we get back to school. We have like a week or 2 just to get adjusted, and then we start conditioning, lifting, practicing on the field, and that goes from about August to beginning of November, late October, and then we get Christmas break off, and then come January 9th to 10th, we're out and go practicing again.
How do you like practicing in the chilly conditions in the last month?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. It's too windy in Oklahoma. There's no trees. It's crazy. But
See, I'm glad you went here. If you go further north, there's really no trees.
Yeah,
There's really So what's your major? What do you plan on doing?
My major is human health and performance, and I hope to go to physical therapy school next year. So we'll see how that works out.
Okay. So now let's talk with Amberlynn Walsworth, who also not just all-conference selection last year, 3-time all-conference player. To talk a little bit about the consistency it takes to earn that sort of accolade year in and year out. It's not something that everyone can accomplish.
Yeah, so every year I try to be better and better, not just on the field, but as a teammate. So it has a lot to do with my team. Every year they come in, playing defense, and being the best that we can be, and that shows a lot in pitching.
So last season, and it's kind of the same question, you know, how special, because it was, I'm going to say it wasn't expected, but it wasn't expected to go and win the conference tournament. So for you, just how special was that experience?
It was really special because that's what we strive to do our whole lives is get a ring, win the championship. So that's what we worked for.
Question, how often, and it really, you know, any before, how often do you all wear the ring out in public?
We brought it today, but we didn't want to wear it.
Well, Coach gave Bob a ring. He hasn't worn it around the office yet, but I'm waiting for him to. So, for you, what's your major? What do you plan on doing?
I'm mastering in occupational safety and health, and I plan to find a safety job once I get out of college, and then obviously coach on the side.
Of course, safety is a career that can lead you anywhere. I know originally from Shreveport, do you plan on heading back home? I know there's a lot of safety jobs down in Louisiana. I have friends that work down there. Or do you plan on branching out elsewhere?
Well, my mom and dad want to come home, but can't tell them this, but I'm not. So I'm going to stay around here hopefully.
I'll have to tell Joey to cut that. That's why I'm here. So, Joey, you better do something about that. Coach, back to you. Expectations obviously high. The pressure question, is there some added pressure, or do you just kind of block it out and take it business as usual?
You know, I think that just in the mindset that pressure should be exciting, it should be fun. You know, if you can figure out a way to use it as motivation. We talked a little bit at the end of the fall, you know, we want to be the hunters, not the prey. We want to go out there with the mindset that we're looking for that and not just trying to survive. I think the best point that our team gets in is when they're just enjoying it, and that's so cliche to say, but softball at the end of the day is a game, right? And so the ability to come out there and play and enjoy it can make a huge difference. But, you know, pressure, maybe a little bit, but I think when you put in the work and you're consistent with that, then when you get in the game, you know, you should be able to trust that and lay it all out there. And if you can, in the day, knowing that you did that, then there's not really anything else that you can do.
And one of the things that kind of stands out about your schedule this season, while it begins this coming weekend on February 2nd, you're down in Louisiana taking on Delta State. You got 12 to 13 games before you're even at home. Your first home game is February 23rd. Does that, to a degree, is maybe that a little bit easier getting a start on the road, although the competition is very stiff?
Yeah, you know, I think it's 20 games that we are playing away before we play home, which is a lot. You know, you play a lot of really tough teams when you're down there, and so I think it helps us in a mental space as well as physical. So that way, when conference comes around, it should be fairly easy. Right? We're playing 3 games instead of, you know, 5 or 6 in a weekend.
Having that level of competition, because there's a lot of different teams. I was just kind of glancing at it earlier. I know you've got Central Missouri out of the way. Some teams there that you don't typically see. How much of that as a coach do you use as a measuring stick?
Right, yeah, a lot of those teams are regional teams, so you know, we take care of business at the end, it'll help us do regionally. As far as competition-wise, it's always good to put yourself against some of the best, right? And so we're expecting to be there and beat those teams, which I think we can. Then why not go ahead and win? So,
again, classic question, what's your expectations?
Expectations are to do better than last year. Keep moving. You know, I think that I know we're 4th, which is interesting because the only team that took it serious from us was Southern Arkansas, but yet 2 others landed on top of us. So just the mindset that we're still kind of counted out. We're going to count ourselves and put our money where our mouth is and stay humble, stay hungry, get after it. So.
Anybody you want to recognize before I let you guys return to your seats?
So you got Maddie Welch right here. She's been with me now coaching for this is the 6th year. You got Coach Stoss right here. She's with us for the first time. She's actually from New York, so she knows about the no trees and cold weather. Spencer Barnett, I don't know if he's still here or not. He's been helping us this year, and so having them is a huge support. And then obviously President Newsom, Coach Baxter, Miss Sherry, Seth, Alex, Matt. I mean, everybody that's on that admin team. I know that without them, they keep me calm a lot. So I appreciate that. Josie, Scott, Austin, the trainers that keep our girls going. Coach Tommy, that is a school. So just everybody that's been helpful, we appreciate it so much.
So give them a round of applause, everyone. Grace Orr, good luck this season. Let's wrap up with baseball, which actually fires up this weekend at home. Head coach Zach Crabtree, as well as Hayden Alexander, Damon Burrows, and Reed Wow. Good, Bob. Hey, good coach. Got your degree back? I just lost mine. No, I don't think it is. Doesn't look like it. Let me see. There we go. I'll try. Yeah. Testing 1, 2. So, last season, you get to the conference tournament. You get one away from Southern Art, but then they're able to come back. Talk about just a little bit about last season, your thoughts on that season, and what you're looking at coming into the new year.
Last season was rewarding and disappointing at the same time. We had high expectations going into the year, coming off the year before. We finished 4th in the league and felt like we won one game in the conference tournament, 22, that we got the NCAA regional bid and lost 2 games in a row. And coming in last year, we were picked 4th. Had some injuries, our pitching staff, to our front 2 conference starters, Cole Knudsen and Connor Priest, and kind of set us back a little bit. It's not an excuse, that's part of sports. You have injuries, and we just didn't play real consistent all year. We didn't get off to a hot start like we did the year before, and it took us a little while to find our footing. And then about a third of the way through conference, we kind of found our footing and played well from then on. And then got to the conference tournament, and our league is so good as it is in all sports, but in baseball, 1 through 12 was pretty good. 1 through 10 is real good. We finished 8th. We're 4 games out of first, 3 out of second, and then Southwestern is right behind us, and Northwestern is right behind them, and they're 3 or 4 games out of 6th place. So it's all jumbled up, and we just didn't play real consistent all 33 games of conference, and that's what it takes. We got to play consistent in the first game all the way through, and we got swept a couple times in conference, and you can't do that in a conference series. And so, but we got to the tournament, and we ran the national pitcher here on Friday night, had a 5-0 lead in game 2, and then, as sometimes sports do, the wheels fell off, and we couldn't get them back on in time. And Southern Art was top 5 team in the country, won 2 games in a row from us, and went on to the regional tournament after winning the conference tournament. And we just got to find a way to play more consistent, and from game 1, and I think this year, it's something we've been concentrating on, and we look forward to going out and starting on Friday.
Now, from a recruiting standpoint, I know a lot of times you may sign someone maybe a year or 2 before someone really sees them because of player development. Are there any key additions, new additions that you see making an impact this season?
Yeah, some of the new guys that are making an immediate impact is Wesley Mitchell, an outfielder, should be in the middle of our lineup, and then 2 catchers, Brady Evans and Young Lewis Ortiz, both will make big impacts for us this year. Those 3 are probably the biggest 3 offensively for us. And then on the mound, we'll have some guys that make some impacts. Jay Lewis will be a big impact for us on the mound. Peyton Heinley, and who else? Yeah, Brett Tennyson. Sorry, we got a bunch of pitchers here. So those are the main guys, not main guys, those are some guys that make some impact for us on the mound, and newcomers.
So let's turn it over to the players for a minute. Let's begin with Hayden Alexander of Burleson, Texas. Transferred in from Weatherford Junior College. Just talk a little bit about the journey to get here to Southeastern. What did you like about Southeastern to get here?
That's a great question. I spent 3 years. I spent 3 years at junior college. I was there during the COVID pandemic, the year and a half and the year after. So college and where I was going to go was very confusing at the time, and I wasn't sure. And going into the year after COVID, baseball was rolling back up again. Started getting some looks from colleges, and I remember Trailer got a hold of me, and we talked like an hour that night, and he was just telling me all about it, like his vision for the program and everything like that. And while I think this was middle of the fall of my third year at JUCO, I was like, man, that's a guy in this program that I have to play for. So we continued to stay in touch, and I think it was it was actually not until like the summer, I believe, when I decided that this is the place for me.
So what do you like about it?
Oh, I like a lot about it. I like everything about Southeastern and Grant. I think if I had to pick my favorite thing, it'd be the people. It's very home feeling, and that's just from the school, the town, of course, my teammates as well.
That's kind of new. What are your expectations this season? What do you want to get out of this year?
Being hurt last year really put a damper in my baseball career, so I'm really excited for this year. This year I have really high hopes for this team. I think that this team can be and will be better than the previous 2 years here at Southeastern. I think that we have a lot of high hopes and a lot of great players that can make things happen.
Now, majoring in business administration, what do you plan on doing when you graduate?
That's a great question. One I don't know the answer to exactly. I didn't expect to be playing college baseball for 6 years. Things happen, injuries, COVID, all that stuff. So I decided to pursue my master's degree, and so I'm doing right now. Hoping that'll kind of direct my path and getting my MBA with concentration in project management. So potentially project manager at a company.
So let's go ahead and turn it over to Danny Burrows, all-conference selection, senior from Pryor. I understand you're a fish and wildlife major. So what are you going to do when you graduate?
I honestly have no idea. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it, but me and my buddy have this dream of owning our own waterfowl guide service, so like hunting guides and stuff. So that would be really cool, but you gotta have money to do that. So probably working in wildlife biology or something for a little while.
So you mentioned hunting. Has that been like a lifetime hobby of yours?
Yeah, pretty much. Like being outdoors, I've never wanted to sit behind the desk or anything, so fishing and hunting is kind of like mine. Yeah.
Being down this area of the state, I mean, did you take advantage of that this past hunting season, or did you go back home for that?
No, very much so. There's a lot of ducks down here, so we had a pretty good season.
So you had a pretty good season last year, all conference selection. How much pride do you take in an individual athlete like that?
I was very blessed to have a pretty good season, but once last season ended, it was pushing forward to this season because it ultimately ended us getting the conference tournament and then losing. So, I mean, to me, that's great, but I'd rather win as a team, make it to Gary, Indiana, or North Carolina, sorry. But no, I was very blessed, but I want to build on that this year.
One of the things that's always big is, whenever we beat East Central, you guys swept them in the season. How much joy did the team take in a regular season ending sweep of your rival?
It was pretty awesome. It was also because the 3 weeks prior to that, we kind of got back into a corner, and Coach looked at us and said, we need to sweep these next 2 series to make it into the conference tournament, have a shoe in, and we did that. So that was pretty huge for us. Just kind of finding a little bit of that consistency that you're talking about towards the end of the season when we've been up and down, and just finding that towards the end was kind of important for us going into the postseason.
So, Coach had alluded to last season, took some bumps and bruises. Dealing with that adversity a year ago and coming up a little bit short in the conference tournament, how does that add to y'all's, I guess, mental mindset coming into this season? what are your expectations as a player?
That's a tough one. I think that the guys that experienced it last year, which we have had some really good pieces this year, know that we didn't come out every day ready to play. So I think that we've had some guys step up as leaders that are kind of making those guys that just came in aware of what we need to do and that what we didn't do last year. So I think that helps us a lot. But I mean, they picked us 8th. I think that we have a lot to prove. I think that we're better than that. I don't see why that we couldn't win the conference tournament, conference outright, just because, like Coach said, we beat South Rock first game last year, and we had to beat part of the game the next game. So we've added some pieces this year. I think we're better. So we're good enough to beat them. It's just if we can go out and do it.
So let's turn it over to senior Reed Ross, two-time all-conference selector. For you, I mean, how much pride do you take in that individual athlete?
Kind of like what Damon said, like individual goals are they're nice, you know, to have stats, but at the end of the day, if you're not winning, it doesn't really matter, you know. Like I want to go out there and at the end of the year have a dog pile time, like dog pile and winning, you know.
He also lives, you know, the idea of, you know, leadership and stuff. How difficult is it to be a leader in a game that I always say is the most individualistic team sport you can have? Because only you can hit the ball, only you can field the ball, and there's not people that have to accomplish that. You're all going for a team goal to win. How tough is it to be a leader in the game of baseball?
I mean, it's a tough game. It's a game of failure. You know, you're failing the majority of the time. So, I mean, it's rewarding when you do good. You are successful, but I mean, just going out there, leading by example, getting all the guys together, and, you know, at the end of the day, we want to win.
As David brought up, you know, you guys finished strong. Granted, you got that first win over Southern Ark in the conference tournament. How do you carry that over? The way the season ended, that strong push, and turned it into momentum into a new year with new players.
Well, yeah, at the end of the year, it sucks. I mean, not everyone's gonna, you know, there's only one winner at the end of the year, so I kind of take it as motivation. Like, you know, I don't want to do that again. You know, I want to cheer, have fun with the guys, and win a championship.
So, a business management and finance major. What's your postgraduate plans?
Right now, I have a job lined up. I'm gonna go out and do door-to-door sales in Phoenix, Arizona. Selling pest control this summer. You see how that is. Probably fail a lot of no's, but it'll be a good experience.
I'll say it's a good thing though. Hey, if you hit 400, that's always good in sales. Just remember that. Now, and you should be also accustomed to the heat in the summer we had here.
Yeah, I'm working out in Texas in the summer, so I'm not worried about it. I mean, at least it'll be dry heat.
Wait a minute. For you, what's the team goals? What's your individual goals?
Just, I mean, I wrote down like some goals. I think I said like 30 extra base hits, hit about like 350, and then I want to walk more than I strike out. So, yeah.
So let's go ahead and wrap up with you, Coach. Season, you actually start at home this weekend. Colorado Springs coming to town. When you look at that non-conference schedule, what are some of the tests that you see before you get into the conference schedule as far as individual matchups with other teams?
Well, Colorado Springs will be the first time I think we've never played since I've been here. I'm not sure Southeastern's ever played. So to play somebody new, getting to play at home, the first 2 weekends are tough scheduling because South Douglas Lone Star Conference opens up conference opening weekend. And then we already play everybody basically in the state that we can play within weeks. And so getting them to come here was good. It's an opportunity to play somebody different. And then we had a movement coming in the second week, so we opened up with 7 home games to start. And so hopefully we can use those first 2 weeks to kind of find some consistency, find some confidence. And we've got some good battles going on for some positions right now. Give us a chance to iron out and solidify some roles in our pitching staff and our bullpen going into the conference play.
You know, these guys talk a lot part of it.
I have, in our exit meetings last year, at the end of the season, a bunch of the guys coming back, that's one thing that they really hounded on, was like, we need to be more player-led, and we've got a bunch of guys that return to step up and do that. We've got a lot of, we talked about some newcomers, we got a lot of returning guys that should pay dividends, that have been through the GAC schedule and know what to expect. But these three guys, and Dylan Hurts starting back for, he's, I think, started every game since he's been on campus as a freshman. You got Corey Bonstrom back in the outfield, Matt Miles back, Jake Miller's back, who are we missing? A bunch of guys. Dylan Turner, been 3-year starter on the mound for us. So we got a lot of returners to go with those new guys that are coming in and making an impact. So we're real excited with what we're bringing back and the pieces with that.
As a head coach, to hear that from your players, for those guys to kind of take the reins, so to speak, a little bit in those leadership roles, how important is that to you, and how, I guess, proud are you of them taking that kind of initiative?
Well, I think the best teams are player-led. I mean, like you coach Schroeder, can tell them what to do, Coach McMillan, Coach Romero, we can all tell them that the players have to have some ownership and hold each other accountable. I mean, we can be with them for 20 hours a week, and they're at the school 20 hours a week. But outside those 20 hours a week, these guys got to hold each other accountable. They got to know when they're in the weight room with Coach Bird, who's going hard and who's giving max effort. We don't ask them to give any more than 100%. You can't. I hear people say, give 110% all the time. You only got 100%, so give what you got. And not every day is the same. I mean, some days some guys are sore, some guys don't feel good, but you still got to show up and give what you got. Be the best version of yourself that day. And that's what we've asked these guys to do, and that's what the players that have come back are holding each other accountable to do. And, you know, every week Coach Bird, our strength coach, sends us a recap of the week, and just to hear him brag on our guys, what they're bringing to the weight room and holding each other accountable is very special. And so that's what we're so excited about the season. I mean, you know, 3 years ago we were picked 9th in the conference, and we said, hey, we can prove them right or we can prove them wrong. We finished 4th in the conference. Last year we were picked 4th. And before the season started, we said, we can prove them right or we can prove them wrong, you know, and we were 8th, and so this year we picked 8th. And we can prove them right or we can prove them wrong.
Well, I mean, obviously the goal of any season is to end on a winning note, but if you had one thing that is kind of, I guess, arbitrary away from the game, what's the one thing you want to see this team accomplish this year?
I just want to stand up, be the best version of yourself each day, and represent our program, our university, and our community the right way, which we have since we've been here for the last 7 years. And you know, these guys, very few guys make a living playing sports. We've got a whole bunch of guys that are going to graduate, a whole lot, 5 or 6 guys are going to finish with their masters this year, and they're all going to go on to be successful afterwards. And that's the most rewarding thing. These guys work hard. We give it all that we got on the field, and at the end of the season, either we're going to do it or we're not. But we're going to give everything we got to see these guys be successful. When they walk off the field, they didn't leave anything behind. They looked out, they left everything they had to our program, to themselves and their teammates, and then go on to be successful afterwards.
Anybody you want to recognize before we let you get?
You bet. Coach Sherrick talked about everybody in here. We greatly appreciate you guys coming. The facility staff that help take care of the facilities and public works and all that support all of athletics. But also our staff, Coach Sherrick's been with me for 7 years. Coach with me here in junior college as well. I would say there's not a harder working assistant coach in baseball, much less the other sport, as far as recruiting and working to help our guys be better. Coach Romero's back for his 2nd year working with our catchers and coaching first base. And then Coach McMillan, our pitch coach, this is his 1st year with us. He's done an outstanding job so far. The best recruit I've ever signed my wife, Allie Cracker. So,
always got to hit that on high.
You bet. I'm way out getting my coverage, and she's been coach's wife for everybody that's a coach and has spouses. You know how much time's away, and so for 24 years she's kept me straight and narrow and supported us and my teams and raised 3 kids while doing so, and so it's very special. You can't be successful in this field if you don't have a successful spouse.
So give it up, everyone, for Savage Storm Baseball. Coach David Burrows and Lee Glass this season. Of course, you'll be catching the bottom of the field this coming Saturday, right? Or Friday,
Saturday, Sunday.
So right now, let's go ahead and turn it over to the man in charge, Coach Keith Baxter.
Thank you, Jay. Give me join me in giving all the student athletes another round of applause, please. Today, you guys is a great sampling of the quality of people, the quality of student athletes that we have on campus at Southeastern. Our coaches do an amazing job, our staff does an amazing job, and we're very, very blessed to have the coaches and the staff that we have, and then particularly those student athletes, because they're going to be the leaders of tomorrow. They're going to be the ones in the community, they're going to be the leaders of the world, they're going to be the ones making the decisions, and our coaches do a good job of putting them in positions to understand that and to help and understand that accountability, that responsibility, but also want to thank you as a community for welcoming them, because you are a huge part in our recruiting process. When they come to town and they see a positive, vibrant, engaging, welcoming community, it makes them feel more comfortable when they're here. It makes them want to be here. So we appreciate that. We appreciate you coming today. A lot of great things going on at Southeastern. And most of those things are a direct result of our president, his efforts and his leadership. President Thomas Newsom is with us today. So thank you for being here, President Newsom. A couple of things to say, the athletics we've got a new, which we're just so excited about. There's many people in the room that are responsible for this. We've got a new video board that's going to replace our scoreboard at football that we use for football activities, that we use for Durant High School activities, that we use a great addition to the Paul Leonard Field. We're also adding a new video board. The video board that we had at basketball is now 16 years old, I believe. Technology has changed just a little bit in 16 years, so we're going to update that. We're so excited about those 2 additions that are coming about. We hope that brings more additions, and many of you in the room are responsible for that. When you talk about putting a first-class show on the road, one of the things that I always talk about is duplicate. And when I was coaching, I always wanted people to call me and ask, well, what did you think? What did you think? Because you're successful. The one group in the room that has been very successful over the past several years now is Bob and Jay and Joey McWilliams and Southeastern Sports Network. When we started that, we were the only ones out there, and it was the best. And as a result, people have tried to copy that. But Bob, Jay, they haven't copied it. Thank you guys for what you do, the broadcasts that you give to our student athletes and our fans. As we've already said, I don't want to stay any longer than we have to, but we got basketball. We're right in the middle of a fight in basketball season. We've got had a terrible January schedule, had almost no home games. We've got a great February schedule. For example, this week we've got basketball Thursday, baseball Friday, basketball, tennis, and baseball Saturday, baseball Sunday, baseball Tuesday, moving into next week, baseball Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we've got plenty of opportunity to come out and support your Savage Storm student athletes. We would love to see you there, love to see you in those venues. With that, it seems like I'm missing something. What's Frank, what am I missing? You're not checking my notes? But thank you all for coming today. We appreciate what you do and the investment that you make in our student athletes. Without you, we couldn't do what we do, and without our student athletes, we couldn't do anything. So we appreciate them at the very most. Thank you all, and we'll see you out here.